Welcome to Gorilla Sports Off Court for a post-game live reaction following the Clippers taking on the Denver Nuggets at home for the Nuggets team. And this is presented by Trusted American Mortgage. Trusted American salary-based mortgage consultants want to help you get into a better interest rate and lower your monthly payments. So just head to trustedamerican.com to see how they can help you save some money today.
Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome in, everybody. I am your host for tonight's post-game live reaction, Liv Moods, and we are going to talk all things Denver Nuggets because, wow, might I say that not having Nikola Jokic for a couple games may be the best thing that could happen to this Nuggets team. I actually went to the Celtics game last night, and I'm sure you're probably sitting there thinking, oh, she's probably so upset. The Nuggets could not find a way to win. I honestly, and I don't typically say this, if you guys have been in these live streams with me before, you know that I feel very strongly about the Nuggets winning the games that they're capable of winning. And I honestly believe this is the type of roster that can beat any team in the NBA right now. So you would expect me to feel very disappointed and defeated following that Celtics game that I got to go to as a fan. I wasn't actually working. I got to just enjoy the game. And I did not walk away from that game feeling any type of way. I wasn't feeling negative. I wasn't feeling defeated. I wasn't feeling upset because I felt like the Nuggets played extremely competitive against a healthy and obviously they're NBA champions, so extremely talented Boston Celtics team. I felt like we saw so much energy and hustle and effort out of that Nuggets team last night against the Celtics. I really wasn't entirely upset. I really wasn't. Especially given I don't like to make excuses. Actually, that's not true. I don't like it when other fan bases make excuses, but I certainly like to make them from time to time if it benefits my team. At least I'm honest. At least I'm self-aware. Not having Jokic is obviously cause for concern. When we were headed to the game last night, we got the notification that he was out, and we're like, oh my gosh. The tickets were not cheap. You're going up against the NBA champs and the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are a great team. We were feeling pretty upset at the fact that we weren't going to be able to watch Nikola Jokic play against this Celtics team. However, there is always that part of me that is like, okay, we know how great Nikola Jokic is, right? That is not a secret. If you watch this Nuggets team, you know the value that he brings. Hello, hence most valuable player, more than once, deserved 4 straight, but I digress. We know how valuable Nikola Jokic is. We know what this offense looks like with him on the floor. We know what it looks like with him off the floor. And I was so pleasantly surprised by just the energy that this Nuggets team was able to produce without Nikola Jokic out there and without Aaron Gordon out there. Those are 2 pretty valuable assets to this Nuggets team in terms of bringing the physicality, bringing the energy, staying alive when things get tough. Now, I wanted to say at the end of that game, if we would have had Nikola Jokic, we would have won this game. I actually don't think that. I think there is an overwhelming sense of complacency that we get by the players around Nikola Jokic when they know he's going to do it for us. You don't have to give full effort when you're playing with Nikola Jokic. Should you? Yes. But he makes it so easy. He makes it so easy for these guys. He creates opportunities for them to score. But I think there's a little bit too much of a reliancy. Is that a word? My granddad's going to kill me if I don't know if that's a word or not. Anyway, they rely on Nikola Jokic a little too much, a little too often because they can, right? He feels a little inferior. He feels a little he's impossible to guard. You don't know how to guard that man. So when things get tough for this Nuggets team, they know as long as we've got Jokic, it's the same thing I say. It's the same thing I say. People in the comments are like, that is not a word, Liv, but we're going to make it one tonight. Reliancy? Why does that sound like it could be a word? Should we make it one? Anyway, doesn't matter. I should know that. I went to freaking journalism school, and I have a grandfather that was a teacher most of his life and a principal, and my mother is also a teacher. And she was a literacy specialist for children that are like 5 years old. So I should know this. But anyway, doesn't matter. Neither here nor there. I think the players around Nikola Jokic at times can rely on just how phenomenal he is, which why wouldn't you? When you typically can get him to play 40 plus minutes and he's still playing just as strong in the fourth quarter as he is in the first, why would you give full effort? I mean, you should 100%, but it's the same thing I say on this show. When Jokic is on the floor, every game feels winnable. There has to be an element of this that the team also feels, right? When you've got Jokic out there, you can make a few mistakes and it's okay. But when Jokic isn't out there, I think they feel a little bit more of that pressure and they understand that you have to be on. You have to play defense. You have to make some of your threes. You have to hustle. You have to play physical because Jokic isn't there to save you, right? So we're seeing this Nuggets team in these games without Jokic. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want Jokic out for much longer. Mostly because selfishly, I miss watching him play basketball. That's it. I hope he's okay. I know he's been battling illness. I'm not sure what. I know there's some bugs going around. Stay safe, y'all. I know he's ill, so I want him to get better, of course, and want him to be healthy, especially given the fact that he's a newborn baby. Want him to stay healthy for the sake of his family as well. But I think it's a really good thing for this Nuggets team to play without Nikola Jokic because it forces them to find ways to win on their own. And we're seeing, in my opinion, this has been, which is very, very surprising to say, because I love watching Nikola Jokic play basketball so much. This has been some of my favorite basketball to watch the Nuggets play. These last two games, last night against the Celtics, and of course, I'm a little biased because I was at the game, and the energy was just amazing. It was amazing. Peyton Watson was playing out of his mind last night. We're seeing that again tonight. He's got some really big moments, very timely. He has very big and timely plays that are so powerful in the sense of shifting momentum in the favor of the Nuggets. He's going to be huge. He's going to be huge for this Nuggets team if they can make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, Peyton Watson is an X factor, and I love it. I'm eating it up. You guys know this is a Peyton Watson fan account in so many ways. Not actually. If he's doing something wrong, I'll say it. But I really, really stinking love what we're seeing without Jokic out there. We're seeing Russell Westbrook really being the facilitator, right? The main facilitator. He is prioritizing running that offense. And it gives Jamal Murray a few more opportunities to make his shots. The Jamal Murray shots that we know and that we love. And if you're looking at the stat line, which you guys know I love to do, I'm a numbers girly from time to time. I also love an eye test. So don't think I just look at stats and that's how I determine whether I'm pleased with a game or not. I also love an eye test. I think eye tests are important if you're watching basketball or any sport for that matter. Right now, Jamal Murray's passing the eye test for me. He did only in this game. Now I say only, right? Like I'm not trying to discredit what he's doing, but 21 points without Nikola Jokic, right? You would in his peak form, you would expect without Nikola Jokic to be taking 30 plus for Jamal Murray if you're a sports betting person, right? You expect him to go off. He was tonight the leading scorer for this Nuggets team. Things you love to see. When we're talking plus minus here, every starter in the positives, every starter in the plus. Jamal Murray, plus 24. That's not common for him. When he gets out there, it actually feels like that's where my dreams go to die a little bit. Okay. Okay. We do have to talk about this, you guys. I tweeted it. We have to talk about this. I'm not sure if you guys saw this because you kind of had to be paying close attention. Anytime Russell Westbrook gets the camera on him and he's chirping, I am locked in. I'm not missing a moment of that. Are you kidding me? He looks at Zubac, okay? Looks him in the eyes and he said, "You better box out." He warned him. "You better box out," is what he said. And there's kind of that little like, "Oh, okay, big dog." Oh, he did it. I'm not sure who was at the line. Was it DJ maybe? Somebody was at the line. They missed their free throw. And there goes Russell Westbrook, soaring through the air like Superman to get that ball in the net. I mean, it was the most poetic play, just because if you were paying close enough attention and got to see the fact that he literally told the man that is 2 times bigger than he is, "I'm telling you right now, you need to box out." He didn't listen. And what a mistake that was. What a mistake that was. Again, this truly is the version of the Denver Nuggets that I want to see every single night, with or without Jokic. Okay. I don't want there to be a overwhelming sense of complacency when he's not out there because you know he's going to save you. Yes, he probably will save you in so many ways, but he shouldn't have to every night, right? There is enough talent on this team that Jokic doesn't need to fly in and save you every single night. He just doesn't. Okay. So don't put that pressure on him, Nuggets. Show up and do your job just like you did tonight. A very convincing win, 126-103 over the Clippers, a Clippers team that kind of had the Nuggets number for a minute in this season. I was starting to sweat it out. Why in God's green earth is Norman Powell scoring 30 points? 4 of 10 from 3. He keeps taking the threes against the Nuggets. You know why? Because he knows the type of perimeter defense they typically play. And he knows he turns into freaking Michael Jordan out there against the Nuggets. I hate it, but it's the truth. For some reason, the Clippers were a bump in the road that the Nuggets could not get over this season. Then they finally did. And now without Nikola Jokic, they're able to compete. Now, I have talked before on this show and on many shows that I've done in regards to the Denver Nuggets about the importance of them getting these convincing wins. And I'm going to tell you why. The stress amongst Nuggets fans is warranted. I'm not talking down to you guys now because you know we are always on the same page. Me and the people in this show. Not always, actually. You guys can oftentimes correct me and tell me when you disagree, and I love that about the community we've built here on these post-game live shows. But for the most part, I see you, you see me. We understand each other. We're feeling the same. And a lot of Nuggets fans are feeling very, very, very concerned about the depth on the bench for the Nuggets or lack thereof. Fair, right? Deron Holmes was supposed to alleviate a lot of stress that we had in our starting or in our second unit, right? Deron Holmes was going to be big for this team. He unfortunately tore his Achilles out for the season. We haven't seen him play. So unfortunate. We've not seen him play in the regular season with this starting lineup, with this team. You know, we didn't get to see what he's capable of. And I think he's capable of a lot. Is this me or the Nuggets? If it's me, thank you kindly. But I don't want to assume it's about me. So I'm going to assume it's about the Nuggets. And yes, they did look good. I don't know. I don't want to take it the wrong way. So either way, the Nuggets did look good. And if you were feeding me a very nice compliment, thank you so much. But listen, what was I going on about? Oh, the second unit, the depth on the bench. Yes, that was a concern for many, many Nuggets fans, and rightfully so. I'm not disagreeing with you in that at all. But what I love about these convincing wins for the Nuggets, right? A 23-point win for this Nuggets team is huge. For more than one reason. One, they should be blowing a lot of teams out of the water this way, and they aren't. So it's important for them to, again, in the month of January with 17 games, 8 of which are at home, 9 are on the road, and all but I think 1 are teams that are above 500. You've got some tough competition this month. This is where you establish your identity. We're getting to that point in the season, okay? We're getting to that point in the season where how you play is who you are, right? That's how it feels. So this Nuggets team has got to start solidifying those flashes of greatness that we see from them. We've got to see it on a consistent basis so we know this is their identity. It's not just a good game by Jokic that's carrying everybody, right? It's not just a Jamal Murray getting hot. It's not just P. Watt with great defensive stops. It's not just Russell Westbrook had no turnovers, therefore this Nuggets team was able to get a win. No, this is who this team is. And we're starting to see that translate. I really do believe it. I really do believe that this team is starting to solidify who they are, which is a really great feeling. But the other part of these convincing wins that feels so great is allowing our bench guys to get some good quality minutes so that we can see what they're capable of. We can see that we have depth on this bench and that this is a team that can make a deep run in the playoffs. I got to tell you, I love some Jalen Pickett minutes as of late. I don't think I'm alone in that. I'm liking what he's doing. In 4 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 2 from 3. That's an impact. 4 minutes. If you're down by 10 and your starting lineup is completely exhausted, they are worthless because they are so tired in a hard-fought game, and you've got to put your bench guys in, and you've got in 4 minutes Jalen Pickett with 2 threes, that's the kind of stuff we need. Now, he didn't do anything else, no rebounding, no assists, no steals, no blocks, no whatever. But we need that. We need offense in our second unit. Peyton Watson off the bench. Listen, one of the greatest things I think happened to Peyton Watson this season was Aaron Gordon getting injured. And I hate that. I don't want Aaron Gordon injured. I want this team to be healthy all season long. But I do think Aaron Gordon getting injured was a very amazing thing that happened to Peyton Watson because he got some crucial and important starting minutes. And I think it boosted his confidence. And to me, the ceiling is exceptionally high with a two-way player like Peyton Watson. The defensive upside that he brings, we need that. Number one, we know our defense struggles. But Peyton Watson, 24 minutes in this game, his threes didn't fall. But last night against the Celtics, they sure did. He had some clutch plays. I mean, clutch was his middle name last night in so many ways because of how timely those momentum shifting plays were for him. That's huge. This Nuggets team needs that in the second unit. 4 of 10 from the field, okay? 9 points for Peyton Watson tonight, but in those 24 minutes, his plus minus plus 17. The defensive upside, you have to love to see it. 4 defensive rebounds for him, for 4 total rebounds. 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks, only 1 turnover. Peyton Watson has some serious upside in our second unit. And he also has serious upside in our starting lineup. If Aaron Gordon gets injured, if Michael Malone starts to get creative with this starting lineup, you have a player in Peyton Watson that you can utilize 1,000%. And here's the beauty of where this Nuggets team is at right now. What we have seen from Russell Westbrook, by the way, I just thought of this. I don't think I can watch the game this month against the Magic. Sorry. I can't watch KCP. No. On another team, no, I don't think I can. Unfortunately, I'm telling you now, Guerrilla Sports, tune in, listen here. I can't do a post-game live that game. Sorry. I'm mostly kidding. I'll do one. But that's going to be very difficult for me. I might be a bit emotional. Anyway, that was so random. Whatever. I was just thinking about the month of January for them, and they do have some very big games, and one of which I think is against the Orlando Magic, which I do think are a phenomenal team in so many ways. And KCP, I don't think I've really fully finished the grieving process on losing KCP. That being said, the additions to this Nuggets team and the whole reason I went off on that tangent, I'm kind of all over the place tonight, guys. Just follow along. Do your best here. The addition of Russell Westbrook was one that felt a little uncertain at first, I think, for a lot of people. You guys know how I felt. It's still pinned on my Twitter, okay? You know how I felt. You know, I said it with my chest. I don't regret saying it one bit. I knew he was going to be great for this team. But his role was the only thing I questioned. Is he running that second unit or is he a starter? I felt like, because I pictured a very different version of Jamal this season, Russ would be better suited running our second unit. Now, there really is no denying what we're seeing with Russ as a starter. He's creating a lot of different scoring opportunities for Jamal Murray, and it's allowing Jamal Murray, in my opinion, to get back on track offensively, and I think it's really good for him. I actually think, this is a total assumption, so don't run with this. I'm not reporting this from the locker room or anything. This is my assumption. I don't think at first Jamal Murray was too fond of Russell Westbrook being here. I don't. I really don't. I think there was probably an element of, this is a 17-year vet that's been named an MVP. He brings it every game. He's not perfect, but he brings it every game. And Russell Westbrook at this point in his career, I think has earned a little bit more grace than maybe the grace that is allowed for Jamal Murray. Is that a fair thing to say? I think Russell Westbrook, despite the seasons over the last few years that he has had, that Russell Westbrook haters just love to hold over his head, I think he has earned grace in his career because of the 17 years that he has been in this league and the phenomenal things that he has done for this league. I think he's got more grace. I think that with Jamal, he's just not there yet. I think people know he's won a ring and they know what he can be. but he hasn't earned the ability to have grace when he has 5 turnovers and 10 points as a max contract player. That's just the facts. He hasn't earned that grace yet. Does he deserve it from time to time? Yes. Am I too hard on Jamal Murray from time to time? Yes, I absolutely am, because I want the best out of him, and I also want the best out of the Nuggets, and I know that they only get the best when he is also the best. He's just that important. You know, that is something that's very, very hard about being an X factor type of player. We've seen Jamal Murray in so many different scenarios, in so many different series, in the playoffs, in regular season games, in overtime, be that guy. When you show us you can be that guy, we expect you to be that guy. That's just it. It's the same thing for Russell Westbrook, except when he also has the effort and the hustle that is just unmatched, attached with maybe a poor performance, you give him a little more grace. So what we're seeing right now with this Nuggets team, in my opinion, is a really great position for them to be in. And I'm going to explain why. There are, in my opinion, many different versions of this starting lineup that would work. Many. My favorite is Russ as the point guard, creating more scoring opportunities for Jamal so that he can get back on track offensively, which we're starting to see, and it is oh so magnificent. MPJ is your small forward because we're done with the trade rumors. Shut your pie holes. I don't want to hear any more. He's staying in Denver. Got it? Cool. Aaron Gordon is your power forward when he's good and healthy, but if he's not, we have seen Peyton Watson fill his shoes just fine. We've seen that. And Jokic is your center. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I want to win right now. I want to be a good team right now. I want to win a championship this year. But we also have to remember there is also the element of De'Ron Holmes hopefully being healthy and available next season. That will help Nikola Jokic out immensely. But you know who's currently helping out Nikola Jokic immensely? Russell Westbrook. You got to have him in your starting lineup, Coach Malone. Have to. When Aaron Gordon's back and healthy, there's got to be some type of changes that are made here where you keep Russell Westbrook in that starting lineup. Because guess what? He's making Jamal Murray's life easier, and he's making Nikola Jokic's life easier. And those two, when we won a championship, we're on the same page at all times. That was one of the most lethal 1-2 punches in the league the year we won a championship. We can get them back to that with the help of Russell Westbrook. He's making their lives easier. So, I understand to this comment right here, Jamal didn't really, I said that at the top of the show, 21 points. I'm not going to say it's bad, but Jamal's the type of guy that you would expect a 30-piece from when Nikola Jokic isn't playing. More scoring opportunities for him. And he's the type of guy that when he gets hot like that, you know he's good for 30, sometimes 40, depending on his mood, depending on how quickly he gets hot, okay? What we're seeing as well with this Nuggets team that is much improved is a quicker start in the first half. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. No, thank you, Westbrook. Someone had to say it, so I will. Thank you, Westbrook. Thank you, Westbrook, for creating more opportunities. More opportunities for Jamal so that he can find his groove. He can get hot. He can get things going. So I think while Jamal maybe started the season, maybe looking at Russell Westbrook like, you know that TikTok sound that goes, I always do this on the show. I'm like, you know that sound? You know that TikTok sound that goes, who are you? I'm Pam. Who are you? I'm the owner of this house. I feel like Jamal Murray was kind of giving Pamela energy in that moment. I'm the owner of this house. Well, are you? The renter of the house, maybe, right now, based on what we're seeing. So I think Russell Westbrook created a little motivation. I think Russell Westbrook said, is this your house? ? I don't know. I want to see you prove it. Because Russell Westbrook came in here and he just didn't care. He did not care. He said, I'm here to play. I have a job. I've been in this league. I've been around a few teams. I know what's going on here. And I'm here to stay. I'm here to make an impact. And I think that in time, Jamal Murray was actually able to see in games, watch it translate, that Russ actually makes his life easier. He really does. Russ can alleviate a lot of the stress that Jamal puts on his shoulders. Also, Jamal, tap into the mental aspect of Russ. He's been booed. He's been called Westbrook. He has had really bad seasons and really bad games. And he's found a way to keep pushing, keep finding a way, you know? So I think maybe in the beginning, Jamal Murray had some doubts, some questions, maybe felt a little threatened by Russell Westbrook being here, and then very quickly was able to realize that Russ is only here to help. That's it. I think Jamal, Jokic, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, they would all love another ring. All of them. And I think Russ is here to make that happen. I think he's here to make that happen, okay? Let's actually hear from Coach Malone. Yes, right here on the Gorilla Sports post-game live show for all of our sports, football, basketball, hockey. We can actually get you guys clips ready and available right here on the show to hear from Coach Malone himself. We may also have some players if they're available and ready, and we can get those clips in here. If not, we'll have a show tomorrow at 12 p.m. Mountain Time where we will break down all the clips that we have remaining that we don't get to tonight. But let's hear from Coach Malone about what he's got to say about this dominating game. I believe this is the clip. If this is not the clip, I'll play the right one, but I think this is it. Let's check out what Coach Malone has to say.
We didn't score. I mean, it was a 15-0 run. So I think it might be 11-0 the second night of back-to-backs. And I keep on saying the same thing when I'm asked this question, but I think when you win the second night of a back-to-back, it speaks to toughness, mental toughness, physical toughness, a resiliency, and not to give in to the readily available excuse of, we played Boston at 8 o'clock last night. We didn't have Nikola and Aaron. We played hard. And we never buy into that. And you have to give our players all the credit in the world because our starters set the tone. The guys on the bench came in ready to play. And as a micro goal in this league, you never want to lose 2 in a row. I mean, it's really want to make sure you don't have extended losing streaks. And that was a big game. You asked the question pregame, how important is this? Because we tied up the head-to-head. It's a Western Conference win. It's a win at our home. And our guys were outstanding. The defense was terrific. And obviously Russ had a great game. Jamal. You look at the whole starting lineup. And then off the bench, Julian and Peyton, Dario. Those guys were all keys to getting this win. So happy, and we'll get some rest tomorrow and get ready for Brooklyn.
Michael, I know you said Russ's family and his people were kind of out of harm's way pregame, but just how impressive is it to get that kind of performance from him, given just everything that's going on? So.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks to him just being a pro's pro, a vet, experienced, and, I don't know if you guys notice, because Russ always plays hard as hell. I think he plays a little bit harder against the Clippers. And the game matters just a little bit more. He hates to lose. And, sometimes he's a guy that literally, like, you always hear it, but he imposes his will on the game. You know what I mean? He really does. It's incredible to watch. The things that he does, the aggression, the attack mindset. 19, 8, and 6 tonight. And what he's doing as a 17-year vet is just incredible. CB had good moments. Michael Porter was super efficient tonight. DeAndre Jordan stepping in, battling Zubats, getting us 12 and 9. He had a hell of a pass, and he's doing this to the bench like he's a playmaker. But good team win. And, you feel good when you're able to have wins like this because it seems like we've had so many games that have gone down to the wire. And so to get a game like this was rewarding.
Tonight and last night, Julian, just 2 great games from him. What are you seeing from him these past 2 games that he's been able to perform like that?
I would just say confidence and aggression. I grabbed him during the game last night. I'm running plays for him, and he came off of a screen. He caught the ball, and he didn't even look at the rim. His head was down. I said, every time I draw a play up for you or you come off of a pin down, your eyes have to be on the rim. I want you shooting the ball. I'm on him more about not shooting it than I am shooting the ball. So we need him to be aggressive. But as you mentioned, 16 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. And what you love about Julian is he's not just a one-trick pony. He can shoot the 3. He's got deep range, but he has the ability to get downhill. He has the ability to finish as well as make plays for his teammates. And again, I thought Peyton, Dario, I have to give him a lot of credit. We're all real positives for our bench tonight.
When you don't have Jokic or Gordon, it can maybe be easy to, I guess, not try quite as much to get into the teeth of their defense. What kind of across the board effort does it take to end up with 56 points in the paint anyway?
Well, to your point, I think part of that is having 29 in transition. And that's predicated off the defense and the defensive rebounding. We did a good job rebounding tonight. To hold them to 37% and only 9 offensive rebounds, that's a huge step forward for us, especially coming off of a game last night where it really burned us. The turnovers were also real. I mean, that team, that's what they do every night, Bennett. We only had 12 tonight. But if you can get stops and get runouts and attack them before they get set, you don't want to play that team in the half court for 48 minutes. They're just too good defensively. And then when we were in the half court, sometimes you get caught over dribbling, and that's when you get into trouble. But we had guys that were able to get downhill and still live in the paint, which is nice to see.
What was most impressive about the defensive execution?
I would say just the discipline. You know, that first quarter was great. We set the tone. We watched clips at halftime, Katie, and I showed some clips. First quarter, really disciplined, communicated. Everybody was flying around, 5 guys playing as one. Second quarter, we had a lead, and we started kind of making things up. And that's why they had that big second quarter. And then I thought we got back in that third quarter to doing what we were supposed to do. So what stood out to me was just the buy-in and commitment and the discipline throughout.
Michael, that play where the Clippers were shooting a free throw, Russ comes from the three-point line, gets the offensive rebound, they call it lane violation, and then he does it again, gets the offensive rebound. What do you just think of that sequence from him?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, this game means a little bit more to him because of who we're playing. But again, like Russell Westbrook is just relentless in everything he does. And so whether it's a free throw, I got one on you, it's the very next one, and he gets another one with Zubats out there. It just speaks to his relentless attack mindset. And the guy will never, ever, ever take a backward step in his life. And I love that about him.
The outstanding sideline reporter tonight brought up this point.
Who might that be? Is Dempsey here?
Yeah. But you don't want to play without Nikola Jokic. I mean, that's just the kind of player he is and how good he is. But it just seems like you've seen some growth from guys that come off the bench or whatever they're doing. It just seemed there was a growing period over the last 2 nights between guys that mostly come off and play bench. Do you see that? Do you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Nikola missed that 3-game road trip earlier in the season. We went 1-2, New Orleans, Memphis. And then obviously, he's sick. I hope he's feeling better. But one thing about us, and I think you know this from being around us for the last 10 years, whether it's Nikola, whether it's Jamal, whether it's whoever, we don't spend a whole lot of time worrying about who's out because we got to worry about the guys that are able to play. And coming up with a game plan offensively and defensively that's going to give us a chance to go out there and win. We prepare to win every night. We expect to win every night. And when you don't, like I said last night, there's no moral victories. I loved how hard we played, but it's still a loss. End of the season, that's all anybody's going to see. We lost to Boston at home. And so for us to go out there tonight and to play as well as we played over a 48-minute stretch against a team, as I reminded our players before we came out, we're 20-15, they're 20-16. We're down 1-2 against them head-to-head. This game has a lot of impact. So you lose one game in this situation, you go from 4th to 7th place. And our guys understood that, and we found a way. And I'm proud of our guys for doing so.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Wonderful, wonderful clip by Coach Malone. We may also have, excuse me, we may also have a couple of players that we can hear from, depending on how quickly we can get those clips back. I'm not sure if you guys know how these post-game pressers work, but we're kind of on the players' time. It depends on how quickly they get to the microphone and how long they talk and all that stuff. So if we can get it to you, we will absolutely share those with you guys. And if we're not sharing them tonight, you guys know we will have our show tomorrow as well, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, off court, and we'll hear from the players that we don't hear from tonight. We'll hear from tomorrow. I actually think we may have Russell Westbrook that we can hear tonight. And then maybe I'll save Jamal Murray's for tomorrow on the show. That way we can break things down a little bit more in depth. But Coach Malone's right. These games, they do make a difference. They may not seem like a big deal at this point in the season. And, oh, it's just the Clippers. Who cares about the Clippers? But when it is a Western Conference team and you are fighting to be one of the top teams in the Western Conference, and given how competitive the Western Conference is, these games matter. And that is something that I said a week ago about the month of January and how crucial it was for this Nuggets team to establish their identity and win games in the month of January. There's going to be some tough opponents in this month. And they are, again, Coach Malone, there's no such thing as moral victories. I definitely walked away from the Celtics game feeling like there was a bit of a moral victory there, just because I was pleased with how tough they played without Jokic. I thought that was the type of game where, depending on how they showed up, it could have really gotten away from them and they could have really fallen behind against such a great team in the Boston Celtics. But they fought hard. Now, did they win? No, they did not. And you have to find ways to win. Now, you could argue with Nikola Jokic out there, they would have found a way, but I disagree with that. I don't think we would have had them playing as tough if Nikola Jokic was out there, because I do think in so many ways, Jokic is the savior. He finds, you get him at that 7-minute mark in the fourth quarter and all right, this 10-point deficit's going to disappear like this, because Jokic is out there. But these guys without Jokic have to find a way to do that. It cannot always be reliant on whether or not Jokic is on the floor. We have to find ways to do it without him. And so it's going to be really important that they do that. Noah, I absolutely love this comment. Playing hard is the most important thing. Gosh, I feel like a broken record every time we have a post-game live show, because I say this so stinking often about the importance of effort and the importance of hustle. I talk about it so much, and it truly does seem like I'm just repeating myself over and over again, but it matters because I know how capable this Nuggets team is. I know how good they can be when they just try. When they give full effort, it is a beautiful thing to watch. I loved watching this game tonight from the perspective of kind of seeing these guys now on the tail end of a back-to-back really find a way. You are tired. I get it. Back-to-back, and the Celtics ran you ragged, and I knew they would. I talked about that last week when I was looking ahead at the month of January for this Nuggets team. I talked about the fact that it is going to be a tough game. This Celtics team is legit, and you are going to be coming off of another home game back-to-back, and the tail end of back-to-backs are not easy. This is a star-driven league. They play a lot of minutes. Basketball is a tough sport. So for them to be able to dig deep and find a way and treat this game as importantly as they treat any other game, with or without Nikola Jokic, was really, really special to watch. And honest to goodness, we know there's a lot of things that have started to go right for this team. But one of the best things that has happened to this Nuggets team this season is the addition of Russell Westbrook. And we have Russell Westbrook's post-game presser available for you guys. And we're going to hear from the guy that, to me, has absolutely changed the momentum of this team and made such an insanely great impact on this team in every good possible way you could imagine, in terms of increasing the pace, getting these games started off on a better note, bringing some hustle defensively, even helping out our second unit. He's out there coaching as much as he is playing. So he's bringing the energy up. He's making an impact. We love watching him play. Russell Westbrook. Let's check out his post-game presser and what he has to say about that dominating win by the Denver Nuggets.
Russell, just first of all, obviously you have a lot of family and friends out in Los Angeles. Just how is everything going for you? And
for me personally, it's fine. Family is safe, but unfortunately, just people that I know, close friends and family, have lost, their homes, and different things. So, I mean, the last couple of days, honestly, man, just been praying so much for not just the people I know, but for everyone. You know, being from LA and never seeing anything like this before, and not being able to do nothing is really difficult. So, just grateful for all the first responders, all the firefighters, everyone who's helping, trying to help, and can say, I'm not even sure what's happening right now. My wife just texted me about school being closed again. There's another fire, I think West Hollywood somewhere. So just staying prayerful, man, to be honest, and hopefully we can get things in control. And you know, I know it's gonna be a tough rebuild, but LA is very strong, and we can stick together and make something happen.
How do you separate that and focus on this? How do you do that? And do you feel a little bit for the guys from the Clippers too that must be dealing with?
Yeah, you know what? It's tough, man. It's hard for me to sleep, to be honest. I was supposed to take a nap today. It was hard for me to do that. And just because I care so much just about, you know, see Los Angeles and not just that, making sure family, friends, just people just watching videos of things that's going that used to be their businesses, homes, everything is, people didn't put their lives, savings, whatever they may have into some of their properties and real estate, and it's all gone, and nothing you can do about it. And to me, that hurts me personally, and not being able to do nothing is difficult for me to be able to see and watch. So I think the best thing I can do is, you know, obviously this is my job, but go out and try to give people joy, inspiration by going out and playing the game hard as I can, and making sure that I do that, but also making sure I find ways to be able to help any way I can.
Russ, Coach says you play exceptionally hard every night, but he thinks that you play a teeny bit harder against the Clippers whenever you play them. How much harder do you play against them?
No, I play hard every night, man. I play hard every night. I love to compete. I love to compete at the highest level. And tonight just happened to be the Clippers, but I compete every single night, and I'm happy we took care of business like we supposed to, and took care of it. So
Is how hard you play, why the fans, it seems like everywhere you stop, the fans just flock to you and just fall in love with you.
Yeah,
Until
man.
you leave.
Yeah, I'm grateful, man, for that. I'm grateful everywhere that I've been a part of, in every organization. I do connect with the fans very well, and I leave it on the line every night. I'm grateful to be able to do that every single night, and I don't take a possession or this game for granted, because it's not promised to you by any means. And there are, you know, kids and people that look up to me and look up to the things I'm able to do on the floor. So I love to use this game and this platform to inspire people just from watching me play. And yeah, you know, being a fan favorite is enjoyable, it's fun. Games are fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be exciting. It's not supposed to be a boring game. People come to watch an exciting game, and I try to do that for them.
Is there anything about Denver that surprised you, or are things going the way you kind of expected?
No surprise for me. The fans has always been great. Unfortunately, I've been on the other side of it most of the time, but they've always been a very, very amazing fan base, and I'm happy to be a part of it now.
Russ, you were asked before the season about your skill set being unique to this team, and you said it was unique to your last two teams too,
For sure.
but you weren't always playing your position. Your stats as a starter this season are pretty similar to what they've been throughout the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What do you think that says about those comments that you made preseason?
Just being in position, being able to play my game consistently all year long, and when I'm able to do that, I feel more comfortable on the floor. I'm able to get my teammates involved and be able to put wins on the board, which is most important. And I'm grateful here that I'm allowed to do that, and being able to find a rhythm inside this team, especially we having guys in and out of the lineup. It's important that I make sure that I stay consistent as the season goes along and find ways to help this ball club.
You mentioned guys are in and out, but it feels like even when you guys are fully healthy, you still do have that rhythm where you have the ball in your hands and playing in position.
Yeah,
So how thankful are you for that?
Man, I'm grateful for that. It's important. You know, that's my strong suit. Being a point guard, I know a lot of times, you know, people see me and think I can be off the ball, be or whatever. I can play any position that's needed for me, but in this game, I'm a point guard, and that's the position I play. And being on the team, especially here with Nicole, and being able to have so many great teammates that allow me to do that, I'm grateful for that, especially with Mike as well.
What do you find the best about working with Jamal then, when you guys are on the floor?
Jamal's really good, man, at catching and shooting and playing off the ball, and I find ways to be able to try to make the game easy for him as well as I try to do every time I step on the floor with anybody. And I think he's doing a great job of learning me a little more, playing with better pace, and you can see that he's catching a good rhythm as the season goes along.
Russ, what stands out about what DJ was able to give you guys tonight?
His length, his energy, did a great job of being disruptive. He disrupted a lot of plays that you don't see in the stat sheet. Did a great job of rebounding the basketball, and it was good to see him out there and run and see his old butt get some dunks. So it was good.
Russ, can you just take us through that sequence with the lane violation and then the tip-in on
Yeah,
DJ?
so I told him I was going to get the rebound after I got the lane violation. So, okay, I said, well, I'm going to get this one. I told Zoo that if he missed, I'm going to get this one. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And he missed, and I got it, and then nothing he can do about it.
Thanks, Russ.
You know what? Seriously, you are a weirdo if you don't like Russell Westbrook. I don't know how you don't like him. He is exceptionally likable. He always articulates how he feels, what he wants to say so well. And I do want to spend a second saying that I am very glad that one of the reporters asked about Los Angeles and everything that is going down over there. And of course, those are kind of the things you just don't think about. Like I totally didn't even register in my brain that Russell Westbrook has so many family and friends, and Peyton Watson too, that are out there, that are dealing with this. And there's not a whole lot he can do about it because he's got a job to do here. And so I just admire, there's so much about Russell Westbrook to like, but more than just his basketball and the skill that he has. He is just a likable guy. He really is. He brings a funness to the league and to the teams that he's on that, if you don't like him, I just think you're a weirdo hater. You're just a weirdo, and you just need to go. I don't know what you need to do, but you need to figure it out because you're a weirdo. That's the only thing. I almost called you a loser, but that feels rude, so I'll just say weirdo instead. But honestly, Russell Westbrook, I don't know how you don't love him. His response, there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, there really isn't. When he sets his mind to do something, he's going to find a way, and I think he has been the perfect addition to this Denver Nuggets team, and anyone that thought he wouldn't be, I'm sure you're watching these games now feeling a little like, oops, maybe I wasn't on board. Maybe I wasn't, I judged Russell Westbrook in Denver a little too quickly. And I think there is a larger conversation about NBA players that needs to be had. And that is that it is such a star-driven league. And we know there's a large era of like team hopping to chase a championship. Right? We see that a lot, and it can be very frustrating because it's like, all right, just because you stick a bunch of superstars on the same team does not mean you're going to win games and you're going to win a ring. It doesn't work like that. And that's what made the Nuggets 2023 championship so special, is because this wasn't the result of team hopping and chasing a ring. This was a result of good players putting their head down, staying focused, and staying patient. And it eventually worked in their favor. And that's what made that so special for this Nuggets team. And you've got a Russell Westbrook that is no different. He has been passed around the league, yes, but I think every team he plays on, he wants to give his absolute best to that team in order to make them the best that he can make them. He doesn't have his eyes constantly looking out, waiting for something better. He wants to be the best for the team that he's on at all times. And you have to admire that about him, which is why I want nothing more than for Russell Westbrook to win a ring with the Denver Nuggets. Damn it. I want it so bad because I think he deserves it. And I also think he, to me, is kind of that missing piece that they needed following their championship run when they lost to Bruce Brown and they lost to KCP. Those are big losses to this roster. And to me, he fills in a lot of those gaps, and he does it with such an energy about him that is not only contagious, but it's just lovable. I don't know how you don't love this guy. He is exceptionally talented at what he does, but more than that, he's a team player. He doesn't have an ego. He plays selfless basketball, and he truly is the epitome of just loving the sport you play. And in doing that, in loving it, and using his passion to drive what he does, he's become a household name. And he does have fans that follow him to every team that he plays on. And you just have to love and respect him for that. So I have just the most admiration. But the reason I brought up the whole star-driven league thing and the team hopping is I don't think we talk enough about, yes, these players are talented, but these players also need to be in the right environment. They need to be on a team that aligns with them. They need to be playing under a coach that believes in them, that knows what they're capable of and knows how to use them. And so I think there's probably a lot of Lakers and Clippers fans that have had to throw away the key because they're seeing that when you know how to use Russell Westbrook, you can get a lot out of him. And I still get the comments, oh, just wait till the playoffs. First of all, you're weird. Every time we celebrate Russell Westbrook and you're like, just wait, you're weird. What are we waiting for? So that you can be right and prey on this man's downfall, this 17-year vet MVP who is loved by the masses. You're just waiting for us to be wrong about how great he is. You're a weirdo. Honestly, that's a weirdo thing to say. But I digress. I think we are seeing with Russell Westbrook the value of the environment that these players play in. They have to be under a coach that believes in them. They also have to be on a team that makes sense for them. It has to make sense. You know Russell Westbrook's game. So put him somewhere where it makes sense. And it makes sense in Denver. And we're watching it translate. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I could not be happier that he's a Denver Nugget. And I could not be happier that this Nuggets team knows how to utilize how great Russell Westbrook is. Russell Westbrook has never been washed. If you thought that, that means that you're a part of a fan base. You're a fan base of a franchise that didn't know how to properly use him. Point blank, period. It was nothing more than that. Your team did not know how to use him. That was the problem. It was never Russell Westbrook. Okay? So I don't think we talk enough about that in the NBA, about the environment that these players are in, and it does matter. Jimmy Butler is living his own personal hell. He doesn't want to be there. So let him leave. If you care about that player, if you love that player, let him leave. If you love something, set it free. They say that for a reason. He is miserable there. Let him go. Let him be in an environment where he can thrive. And Russell Westbrook is currently in an environment where he thrives. And it is beautiful. And that's all I have to say. So this has been another post-game live reaction show presented by Trusted American. Trusted American, they're trying to help you guys save some money, okay? They're trying to help you lower your monthly payments, lower your interest rates, and it's really simple. You can either scan the QR code that just popped up above my head, or you can go to trustedamerican.com if you're listening and see how they can help you save some money. See if you qualify for some of their incentives, all the good things. They are here to help and they are our friends and we love them so dearly. So this has been another post-game live reaction. And I appreciate you guys and I love you guys tons. And I'm very happy the Nuggets were able to get such a convincing win, 126-103 over the Clippers, Russell's former team, and a team that was kind of giving the Nuggets trouble at the beginning of this season. Like I said before, January is going to be a very important month for them. 17 total games, 8 are at home, 9 are on the road, and it's time to cook. It's time for this Nuggets team to show us that the flashes of things that we've seen that have been so great are truly who this team is and it's their identity. And for them to be able to get a solid, convincing win without Nikola Jokic is a step in the right direction. So I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm hoping that when Nikola Jokic is healthy and back in the mix, nothing changes about the effort and the hustle that we're seeing them play with. So I'm a happy girl. Love you guys long time. Thank you for hanging with me for another post-game live reaction show covering the Denver Nuggets. This has been another Guerrilla Sports Off Court. If you want more NBA talk, give Guerrilla Sports a follow on all things social. X, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. And subscribe to our YouTube because I will be going live again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Mountain Time to talk all things Denver Nuggets. We'll have Jamal Murray's post-game presser available for us tomorrow. We can break that down, listen to what he's got to say. I'm excited to look into that and see his feelings on this game without Nikola Jokic. Hopefully Jamal Murray's feeling proud. I'm loving what he's been doing lately. He's definitely trending in the right direction. So a lot of things to be excited about, Nuggets fans. Let's keep the energy up. I definitely have a lot of better energy right now than I have in weeks past. So I'm loving it. We're tapping into it. Thank you for hanging with me. I appreciate your guys' support and love more than you know. So thank you so much. We're sending prayers out to Los Angeles, to Russ's family and friends that are impacted, Peyton Watson's family and friends that are impacted, and the Clippers and the Lakers. You know, this is a big deal, and I'm praying that everybody is safe. I know losing your home and all of your belongings is horrible. I genuinely could not imagine it, but ultimately I'm praying for the safety of the humans, the animals, and all of the lives out in Los Angeles. So sending my prayers that way. Thank you for being here, and we'll catch you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, for another episode of Off Court. We'll see you then. Bye, guys.